This video will walk you through how to link a lesson in Nearpod, either live participation or self-paced lesson, and then we'll look at how to run it from a Zoom lesson, and we'll take a look at the teacher perspective and the student side also. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and the first thing we'll look at is how to link up the lesson. So I'm going to come over to my course modules page, and I've got a folder for Nearpods. I've linked one live lesson, and Nearpod's doing a really nice thing. It's giving us some cueing to tell us when the lesson is live or self-paced, and the students see the same link. So I'll go ahead and come up here to build content, and then down to Nearpod lesson direct link. Now this process is going to be the same whether you're linking a live or self-paced lesson. So if you notice at the top, a second tab has opened adjacent to my Blackboard course tab, and it says Nearpod on the tab, and it's brought me out to my Nearpod dashboard, to my lessons. Now, if I want to link one of these lessons, I'll just hover over and either click live or student paced, however I'm deciding to run it, or I can go inside a folder and select a lesson here. So no matter where your lesson is, you just go find it, hover over the tile. I'll go ahead and link a student paced since there's already a live lesson on the dashboard. So I'll click student paced, and then some magic happens and we see the success message. Once the success message appears, we can go ahead and close this tab titled LTI Launch Return. Our Blackboard course is still up here in this other tab. So we're going to close this, but the lesson's not here. It won't appear until we refresh. So we're going to refresh this page, and now there is the lesson that I just linked. So that's how you'll get your lesson onto the Blackboard page for the student. Notice that I've also added student directions. I linked out to a Google Doc, and you have a link to this Google Doc on the help document with this video. And the student directions, you can go up here to File, make a copy, put it in your own drive, and then edit however you like, but this maybe gives you a good start. And it explains to students how to get to the lesson, how to get in and out of the Nearpod, gives them directions for joining with a code or the Blackboard link, talks about how to use student notes, and gives them some tips about navigating the Nearpod. So that's a really nice thing to place somewhere on your course for your students, either in the folder, if you're keeping all your Nearpods collected in one folder, keep them there, put the directions there, or maybe on a getting started page, however you'd like to present it, but it's nice to show support for students. To launch the lesson live in Zoom, navigate over to your Zoom link, and then start your Zoom session. I'm not going to start mine all the way because I'm already in a Zoom session recording this. So let's just pretend I launched my Zoom, and my Zoom's here. Okay, so now to get back to launch my Nearpod lesson, I'm going to click the course title in the upper left-hand corner of my Blackboard page. And this is the same way students navigate in and out of the Nearpod or in and out of the Zoom from that frame within Blackboard. They click the course title up there. Now I'm going to go out to my course modules and click Nearpods and go over here to this live lesson, and notice the student paced lesson is marked student paced, live is marked live. And students are signing in. So over in the lower left-hand side, I can click that little people icon, and it'll tell me how many of my students are in, and it'll show me their names. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this as user 1. I direct students in the student direction sheet to use their Blackboard username when they log in so that it's easy to find them in the grade center. But you can modify that any way you like. Go ahead and click join lesson. Now it's saying teachers waiting for teacher to start the lesson. So this is my student side over here. And then over here on my left side, I see that user 1 has joined. So I'm ready to go ahead and start the lesson. And then notice that student side advances as I advance. Students cannot control the pace of their Nearpod at all. In a live participation lesson, I'm the one that controls it. With the Collaborate board, if you choose to moderate, you're going to have to approve every single post before students see it. So that might be a hassle for you. If that is, you can click no. And then if you have more than one Collaborate board in your lesson, you can apply it to all of them. I'm going to go ahead and say yes to show you what you have to do when the student enters a response. And they give us a nice little cue here. We're going to have to click this button up here to review the student posts. Okay, so I'm just going to say student post. And I'm going to click the word post over here. And the student sees that it's pending approval. I see this orange circle with a number in it saying, hey, you've got a post to approve. I've got to click that and then come down here, read it, make sure I like it, it's acceptable, and then I post it, and then notice it shows up for the student side over there. That might be a hassle if you have a lot of students in your class. So that's up to you, whether you enable that or not. And then as I advance, the student slide advances. When we're ready to exit the lesson, so my course title has disappeared because I shrunk my window down a little bit. I just stretch it out, and now this will bring me right back to the course. Same thing for students. They just click the course title, brings them out. Make sure that they get all the way to the end of the lesson before they do that, that they've answered all the questions. And again, if something happens, they get kicked out, they can just come right back in, and so can you, and it'll pick up where it left off. A suggestion, if your students are accessing the Zoom on the same computer that they are accessing the Nearpod through Blackboard, it's probably too much for them to try to watch you or keep an eye on the actual Zoom window at the same time they're doing the Nearpod. So I suggest that you build in your lecture slides, talk no more than about 10 minutes, and then throw in an activity to keep them active and engaged, and they'll give them time to check out mentally. And expect them to listen to you but not see you during that portion. It's probably just too much for them. One super cool thing about students coming in through Blackboard on a Chromebook, a tablet, or an iPad, or even a phone is that they don't have to use the join code. They don't have to use the app and a join code if they come through Blackboard. It will launch them out automatically. The only device I had issues with was the phone, and that was because it was so small. The real estate's just not there on the screen. It'll work in a pinch, but it's not my favorite, and it might frustrate your students. So just know that. There's directions on those student-facing help document that explains to them how to use Nearpod. There's a link to the technology page where they can reserve a hotspot or a Chromebook for the whole semester. So if they want to check out, even to have a second device, that's totally fine. If they want to use that for their Nearpod, or just to have the Zoom queued up to be watching you while they run a Nearpod on the regular computer. Whatever they want to do. However we can make life easy for them, let's do that. And that's a quick run through of getting your lessons into Blackboard and running them from Zoom. Please reach out if I can be of help. Be happy to practice with you, come to your classes, whatever I can do to support you.